You didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family has done, that none of your friends have done.
I'm just gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Whatever is mine is looking for me.
You have to know what road to take to get to your final destination.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
Hello. Good afternoon. I know it's been a minute. I haven't done a live in a while, but I had to come and do this. I tried to record this and it just wasn't working. So I'm like I didn't have, things weren't flowing and it just didn't feel right. So I'm like, let me try to do a live instead. So I decided to schedule this live to talk about this video of this woman she went somewhat viral on TikTok, and she was talking about how she's in this in-between phase. So I'm like, okay, let's talk about this, because I feel like a lot of people are in an in-between space right now. Like, you're in this waiting season, you're in this transition period. So let's get into this topic, because I feel like a lot of people can relate. Thank you all for the compliments. By the way, so I did my debt jar release on Friday, and I paid off. I made the biggest payment yesterday. I did that last Friday, and I sat down, crunched the numbers, and I paid off my credit card bill in full. Do the debt jar. Even if you are not doing it with us, the whole purpose of doing the debt jar is sometimes you need to release and remove things. Never downplay releasing to manifest. Like, I feel like a lot of people focus on calling things in and like receiving things, but we don't think about how we can manifest by releasing things. We think that the only time we can manifest is by just holding on to things and then calling things in. But I'm telling you, when you do releases, because I've been doing releases all year, since the beginning of January, I've been doing nothing but releases. So one thing I've noticed is, like, with me releasing, it just seems like things are being replenished a lot quicker than when I'm just holding on to things and I'm wanting things to kind of just come in. Another thing, and I'll make sure to post this in my Ferrution room in my Discord, but I just wanted to share that with you all, because I was like, I wasn't expecting to pay that off this month. Like, it wasn't something that I planned to pay off this month or anything like that. It kind of just happened when I sat down, I crunched the numbers. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I can pay this off in full. So that was a shocker. Like, I just wasn't expecting that. So thank you all. So I just wanted to share that with you all. If you are, still kind of somewhat struggling here, because this year has been rough. Emily, I was cracking up when you posted this to TikTok. That's been our year. Well, that's been my year. I don't know about anybody else's, but that's been my year. Okay. Now we've been making it. We've been making it. I don't know how, but literally by the hairs on my chin, we've made it. Okay. So Emily, I saw that and I was cracking up, because honestly, that is what it feels like. Oh my gosh, this year has been crazy. And it's crazy because I just knew 2025 was gonna be my year, but I guess not. And that's okay. That's why we're here today. So I came across this video, and this woman had a question.
Okay, I have a question for all you people that are in between spaces. The in between space, the in between phase, in between whatever. You're in the waiting room for the next chapter in your life. If you're not that person, or matter of fact, if you've been there, stay here. I have questions. Now, I'm trying to be the person, have faith like the size of a mustard seed, but also on the side of God helps those who help themselves. How does this work exactly? Because the place that I'm in my life right now, I am trying not to drown, trying not to go like, I feel like I'm going crazy a little bit because I know something is on the horizon. I know something is right there. I know it's like, I feel it in my soul. I feel it. However, my bills don't feel it. My bills don't feel like, oh, money's coming. It's like, bitch, where is it at?
And then people be wondering why I focus on money manifestations because these bills are due every 30 days. That's why. Every 30 days, every cycle, there's a bill that's due. Okay. So it's crazy because this space that she's currently in, this reminded me of my 2017. I was let go from my job, no warning, no heads up, no nothing. I will never forget it. It just feels like it was just yesterday, where it was Friday and my manager, she sends me an Insta chat because I was working from home. So she sends me this instant chat message and she goes, "Hey, do you want to take the rest of the day off?" And this is Friday. And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" So I took the rest of the day off and then enjoyed my weekend, right? Enjoyed my weekend. Came back on Monday. I tried to log into the system and I couldn't log in. So then I'm checking my emails to see, like, is the system down? Like, are we just off the network, or the network's down or whatever? And then I see this email and it's a scheduled meeting with my manager. And so I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but all right. So then, um, so I get into the meeting, and then that's when I found out that I was fired. I was let go, and it was no warning, no nothing. Just thank you for your time with us, da da da. Right. So I'm the type of person where when things like this happen to me unexpectedly, I'm in a state of shock. Like, I don't have any emotions at all. Like, honestly, I'm just like shocked. So that was Monday. By Wednesday, I was breaking down. I was tears is an understatement. I was I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, the ugly cry where you are quivering and you can't even control it. Like, it was that bad. Like, when I tell you I was stressed, I was stressed out. I had been in my new apartment for about 9 months. I had 3 months left on my lease. I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, am I going to get an eviction? Like, what the hell? Then that following weekend, I decided to reach out to my community for my thinking that I was going to have like a safety set, a safety net. And so I reached out to my parents and they're like, "Oh, no, you can't move back in. We can't help you with that." So, and my parents at this time of my life, they felt like if we don't support you doing what you're doing, then you'll go back to school and you'll do what we want you to do. Like, they were very big on that. So my parents, they did this with all of their kids. Like, we'll help you as long as you do what we want you to do. And what they wanted me to do never made any sense to me because my biggest issue wasn't that I didn't want to go to school. It's just school didn't make sense for me simply because I could barely afford it to begin with. And then I was working side by side next to people that had bachelor's degrees. So you're telling this is the part that didn't make sense. The part that didn't make sense, because if it would have made sense, I probably would have went back to school and did what my parents wanted. But what didn't make sense was I'm struggling to pay for school. And I have people that I'm working side by side with that have bachelor's degrees and they're struggling to pay their student loans. Like, so it was just, it just, it wasn't making any sense. And I'm like, I can barely afford school as it is. My parents made too much. I couldn't get FAFSA or anything like that. So everything either had to be loans or it had to be out of pocket. So I was barely able to afford it. And I'm just like, okay, so where's the part in all of this where I get ahead? Like, because it just seems like if I was to go through with it, then I would be sent back. And I was looking to get ahead. That was the whole purpose and point to go to school. So it never made sense. My parents didn't agree with that because they were still old school and they were still seeing the world a certain type of way. And I was seeing the world differently because of my own life experiences. And they just didn't agree with that. So they refused to help. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell am I going, what am I going to do? At the time I was doing YouTube, but it never crossed my mind to look at YouTube as like full time. It was just, YouTube was never seen during that time as like a full-time job. Like it just, that was like a dream, but it was never like realistic. So I didn't even look to YouTube for a full-time job. I just did not know what I was going to do. So here I am in this waiting season, because prior to all of this happening, when I switched jobs about 2 years prior to work at this particular to work with this company, I literally told myself, I'm like, this is my last job, and then I'm gonna go full-time self-employed. Like all the little side hustles that I had going on, like I was doing hair, I was doing wig reviews, I was doing YouTube, I was doing fashion hauls, I was modeling on Instagram, I was doing all of these things. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be my last nine to five job before I just walk away and go full-time self-employed. But see, God works in mysterious ways, because that safety net of me having that job was just ripped from under me, unexpected, wasn't expecting it at all. And so I was kind of like thrown on a limb, and I just had to like figure it out. And that's exactly what I did. So sometimes when you're in this like weird space where you feel like you're being tested, your back is up against the wall, it's pushing you, like it's pressuring you to do something with it, not to just sit in it and wait, but to actually do something with this space that you're in. Honestly, when I was in this space, I was very creative. I ended up being more optimistic, because I mean, how else was I going to pay these bills? I had to be delusional as hell. And see, this is another thing too. I kept telling myself that if if I made it through other dark periods in my life, I never believed, and I always tell people this all the time. I don't believe that God will lead you to this point and then just be like, all right, you got it. Peace, we're out. Like, fix this, you're on your own. Like that's not how it works. So I had gone through a few different dark times in my life, and then this happened, and I really leaned on faith more, and I trusted that more because of my earlier experiences. I'm just like, no way in hell I was brought through all of those dark times just to get to this point, and now I'm just abandoned. Like I didn't want to believe that. I couldn't believe it because it didn't make any sense. And again, things have to make sense for me. So when all of this was taking place, I was just like, okay, I I guess I'm just supposed to trust this process. Like I don't even know what's to what I'm supposed to do. So what I ended up doing was filing for unemployment, filing for food stamps. I qualified for both. I ended up getting both. Then I applied for jobs. I ended up getting 2 callbacks, right? And of course, I let fear get in the way because I was listening to people at that time. I was listening to my parents because, again, I was in a space where I didn't know what was to happen. So I'm listening to people who have been in a similar situation because I've never been in a situation like this. And I'm listening to people, and everyone is telling me to do this and to do that. And I'm listening, but it still didn't feel like it was right for me. So I ended up getting 2 callbacks, 2 interview calls. And I remember talking to the lady, and I'm like, I'm sorry that I wasted your time, but I'm not going to move forward with the interview. And I remember during that time that I was like, if I'm gonna go full-time self-employed, then let's do it. Like, let's go all in and see what happens. And I took the biggest risk of my life. My parents didn't like it. I feel like my friends, now that I look back, the friends that I had at that time probably thought I was delusional and stupid as well. But I was trusting God's plan. Like, when God gives you a vision, you have to understand that everything around you is going to fall into place because God gave you that vision. So even though on the outside the vision doesn't make sense to other people, and a lot of times we wait for people to give us that like approval, that acceptance, and that validation, but the whole time they may not have the vision that God has given you. So you're looking for them to validate your choices and your decisions, and it's just not smart for you to do that, because if God gave you the vision, that doesn't mean that he gave the vision to other people. So you have to kind of like understand, like, okay, this is my vision. I need to stand true to it and just trust in it. And this is the part that sucks though. We really think that in life it's just supposed to go easy and it's just supposed to be good and happy all the time. And that's not realistic at all. And once you get to a point in your life where you accept that life is not going to be all good all the time and it's not going to be easy going all the time, then you'll be focused on how you can make every day just a great day, and instead of trying to make every day like a good life. Like it's not realistic at all. So even when I was in this crisis, this hardship, I still was steadfast on everything is going to work out in the end. And it did. Everything did work out in the end. So I was in this waiting period. And what a lot of people don't understand is your waiting period is not really your waiting period. It is your proactive period. You waiting is you are waiting on what you're feeling to just happen, but you still have to make it happen. It's like the energy is supporting you because you can feel it, but you still have to meet the energy halfway. So that means you have to be proactive. That means you have to show up, and you have to show up consistently. So even though I had the vision, even though I could feel that this was going to work for me, I still had to show up, and I had to put in a lot of work to even get to that point of seeing the vision play out, seeing the blessing on the other side, because I could feel it, but I still couldn't see it. And it was because I had to get in alignment proactively, and I had to be action based. And a lot of times when we start to get that feeling like, oh, a blessing's coming in, blessings, we think just sitting and waiting is what we need to do. And actually, it's no, you are in alignment for this blessing, but you still have to show up and meet the blessing halfway, to meet the abundance halfway. So I could use the prime example of me paying off my credit card, right? I did the debt jar release at the beach, right? But even though I did my calculations, like I had to sit down, I had to crunch the numbers and everything, meaning I had to budget, right? So I had to be action based. And then also I had to be disciplined. Cause I'm like, listen, I got a little extra money this month. This is a big amount. Let me just pay half, and then let me go do something else with that money. You also have to be disciplined too. So I was just like, you know what? I'm releasing this cycle. I'm gonna pay off the balance in full, and I'm gonna just move on and just go forth with that. So a lot of times when we're in this like transitional period, you're still supposed to be moving. There's no waiting. There's no waiting. There's a lot of production that needs to happen. There's a lot of structure, organizing. There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of, okay, let's put one foot in front of the next foot and let's get moving. That's what it really is. And so I think sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and we get so excited about the blessing coming in that we're not being proactive enough. So let me continue.
At the same time, my mental and my sanity is just not. Everyone wants me to go out and do all the things. I don't have it because I'm sitting here waiting for one job who I finished doing all the interview process to let me know what's up. Another job just told me, which I thought was my last interview, no, they want me to do one more interview. And I said, hey, these are my availabilities. I still haven't heard from them. And part of me is like, am I supposed to go back into the service industry? Am I supposed to be back at a restaurant again?
And I feel like she already knows the answer to that. And one thing I noticed talking to people is that sometimes they go back to what is comfortable and familiar because they're afraid of what is ahead, or they're afraid that nothing is going to come at all. So they go back to, and let me tell you what you're doing. You're putting yourself in an old cycle, and you have outgrown the cycle. That cycle has closed. It is over with. But fear has you thinking, oh, I need to go back to I need to go backwards because it's safe and it's comfortable. So she already knows that's probably not what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to go back. I'm supposed to move forward. But because she's in this waiting season, she's like, oh, maybe I should go back. I should go back. But then like no one's calling her back. So then that kind of tells me, because when things are aligned, things happen. When things are not aligned, then there are clear signs that this is not what's truly meant for you and that you should go in a different direction. So I feel like she already knows the answer to that question, but she doesn't want to accept it because she's in this uncertain energy, like she's in this uncertain space in her life where she just doesn't know, well, what's next? Like, what am I supposed to do next? And you have to trust the energy that's around you. Like if you know that something big is going to come in, then you really do have to trust that.
I don't want to. I don't have the energy to be back in that industry anymore. But am I supposed to be back in that industry? But I'm trying to have the whole be patient, just wait. Am I really waiting or am I working while I'm waiting? But also, am I killing myself working at a job that I don't want to be in, having a heart attack?
Listen, everything is easier said than done. Literally everything. I'm gonna go work out this morning. That's so easy to say, but it's hard to work out. Like everything is easier said than done. But this is coming from someone that had to pull myself out of this. Like it's gonna be hard. And that's why I said earlier in this live, get over it's supposed to be easy. If you think it's supposed to be easy, then you're already programming your mind to have a false expectation. The standard is this is going to be challenging. I wouldn't even say this is going to be hard. And the reason why I don't want to say that it's going to be hard is because something that is hard, that means like it's hard to do. You're capable. That means you can do it. It's just challenging for you. It's not too hard. It's just challenging. And again, when it comes to growth, in order for you to grow, like you have to go through the challenging phase. Then things get easy. But you have to go through the challenging phase for things to get easy. And then you have to go through the challenging phase for things to get comfortable.
With the hours, dealing with stupidity, still also dealing with people that are rude as hell. Like, I'm saying all this to say is how do y'all, or what do y'all do in between? Like, what's that look like? Because I've gotten better with not sharing everything.
You lock in. You lock in. That's what you do. You lock in. First of all, move your body because that's important. When you move your body, stagnant energy does not linger. Move your body. If your body is not moving, if your vessel is not moving, then the energy around you most likely is not moving. Move your body. Walking can do wonders. Move your body. That's number one. Number two, lock in. Like sometimes challenge yourself, like do like a 30-day challenge or like a 60-day challenge or a 90-day challenge, because sometimes we need to be accountable, and a lot of times we don't want to look in the mirror and evaluate, okay, are we doing enough, are we not doing enough, and being real with we're real with ourselves and just saying I'm not doing enough. But then also prioritizing rest, because a lot of times we think we have to go hard, like hustle. And it's like, no, you have to go hard as far as being consistent. But that includes rest, that includes taking care of yourself as well. So part of the issue could be is that she's not 100% locked in with a plan. She's in this waiting season where she's still unsure. So if she got clear on what the plan is, then she would move forward in that energy. But right now, she's kind of stuck and stagnant because she doesn't really have a plan. She's second guessing if the blessings are going to come anyway, if the abundance is going to come in anyway. So she's kind of like waiting still, but she's not really waiting. She's holding herself back.
Even though it's that still, I'm an oversharer. I'm proud of myself because I haven't shared everything. I've shared some things I shouldn't have shared, but I haven't shared a lot. How the hell, or what the hell are y'all doing in this in-between phase? I'm about to go for a walk, pick up my book from the library, go to my mom's house to pick up some food. I'm gonna wait for my sister to get home so I can get a hug because I need it because I've been crying since last night. And don't worry, I just need to, I'm a person that needs to, I cry a lot, so I just need to release it. But I need some help, I need some assistance on what am I supposed to be doing right now?
I would tell her, okay, give yourself 24 hours. Go see your mom, go eat food, go hang out with friends, cry some more, sleep all day. You could bed rot tomorrow. But after that 24 hours, it's time for you to start creating a plan. And it's time for you to get serious about yourself. Because being in this energy of like scattered brain, oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this, doing that. It's like, you know what you're supposed to do. You have the answers on what you're supposed to do. You're just not doing it. And it's creating this stagnant energy where things are not coming in and things could be coming in, but you're not being proactive. So I'm going to say, give yourself that 24 hours. Do whatever you want to do with that 24 hours. Scream, yell, shout, hang out. Hell, get blackout drunk. I don't care. But after that 24 hours, you need to sit down and you need to come up with a plan where you're doing something actively daily. Even if it's just for an hour to 30 minutes, you're doing something actively daily when it comes to this plan that you created and that you have in place.
So all you Bible thumpers, all the people that have walked with Jesus, that have Jesus on the hotline, God on the hotline, tell them SOS or SIS, like I said, sister, well, SID, sister in distress. Okay, thank you. Hopefully somebody can help me. Appreciate you.
And then also another thing too is that some of you may not have the energy because you're burnout. Emotional. You are burnout. So what's draining our energy? Because I find this often that the girls be getting their energy drained. Is it a relationship? Is it a friendship? I see that a lot. Is it a man? Is it a sister? Because that's another thing is if you're giving away too much of your energy, you're not going to have any energy for yourself at all. So one thing that I notice is like a lot of times the girls don't have the energy to get to their goals and create this plan, this grand plan and things, is because when you're giving too much of your energy away. Are you always reacting to people? Like I saw that ginger head man that went viral because he was upset at black women, but really he was upset at his mother and he was projecting it on us. When I saw that video, I scrolled past it because he ain't talking to me. Do you respond and react to give your energy to low vibrational people like that? Because that will drain your energy real quick. You have to look at your vessel as a battery. And you have to be careful about who you're giving that energy to. And do you have any to give to anybody else? You may be in a space in your life where you don't have anything to give to anyone at this time. You may need to reserve all of your energy for yourself because where this space that you're in your life, you don't have it to give. And a lot of times we underestimate that a lot. Like we think giving out our energy freely, it's nothing. What's the big deal? It's nothing. But it's everything. Especially if you're not emotionally in a good place. Like you're not in a stable place yet. Right? You're working your way to that. So let's also focus on pulling back our energy. Another thing too, social media drains your energy. It does. Whether you go live, whether you're just doom scrolling on social media, whether you're just chronically online too much, like it drains your energy too. And then it's a distraction. So another thing about this phase is you need to remove all distractions. Distractions keep you away from really staying focused and locked in so that you can make some leadway. So get rid of all distractions. Distractions could be social media. It could you be binge watching, like maybe you actively intentionally distract yourself because you're not in the best place emotionally, so you use escapism, like maybe you binge watch shows on Netflix or Hulu or Prime or something like that, and that's not healthy as well because you have to be present to proactively move forward, because everything has to be done through intentions and you have to be intentional when you choose to move forward. So get rid of the distractions because that's only going to make it harder for you. And then typically distractions also drain your energy. So I would pull some things back. So I found it interesting that this woman, she posted this as well.
Yes, TikTok was banned. Yes, TikTok came back. Yes, I'm a content creator. Yes, I need to get on my Zoom. Yes, I will be quitting my job. Yes, I want to focus on content creation. Yes, I want to be modeling, editing, hosting, creating, building, doing all the things. And I'm at an age where I don't want to be filled with the BS that is, in America, in the world. I don't want to deal with it. I don't. So I am making this video for my people to find me.
I would also say this too, that focusing on America right now, that's that's I don't want to call it a distraction. I feel like that's just not going to put you in a good place mentally. Should you stay in the loop with what's going on? Lightly. But if you are tuned in for every update, that's not helping you either. Like it's probably making your situation worse because it gives doomsday. The world's coming to an end. Why even put in any type of effort at all? Like, I'm probably wasting my time anyway. So be careful with that. Like, yeah, you should stay in the loop of what's going on because you need to know what's going on because a lot of changes are being made, but lightly. Maybe follow one content creator that gives you good updates, or maybe only watch the 6 o'clock news and that's it. Just keep it to a minimum because eventually, like if you're just sucked into that type of content, it gives doomsday. You're not going to be optimistic about your goals and the things that you want to achieve.
Into fashion, I am into art, I am into creativity, I am into movies, I am into music, I am into traveling. I love being black as hell. I love being a curvy girl. I love being in the gym. I hate running, but I love it at the same time. Um, I like being healthy, but I love to eat. What else do you need to know? I'm not sure, but I'm putting this video out there. I will be getting back into editing my work, creating content. I do have a workout video of like compilation of the past few days because I am on hard 75. Today is day 6.
Now, one thing that I want to highlight, and I come into this a lot with my mentees, not all, but some, where a lot of women don't want to create a foundation for themselves. They just want things to happen. And I'll use Aaliyah Face as a prime example. Aaliyah Face spent over a decade building a solid foundation. Everyone wants to be at her level, but no one wants to do the groundwork that it took for her to be at that level. So everyone wants this easy life where she can travel and she could do all of this. But what about all the editing that she had to do in her earlier stages? She didn't have an editor. She had to edit. And when you edit, it could take 12 hours. Hell, it could take 20 hours, depending on how fancy you are. But then not only that, the consistency, the discipline to record, to edit, to repost and promote yourself and cross promotion. All of that is a lot of work. And it wasn't done in a year to 6 months. It took her a decade. So one thing I noticed about the girls is like, okay, well, you see these women out here being an inspiration, but you're not asking the correct questions about, well, what did it take for you to get to where you are? And I'm going to tell you now that if you think things are just going to happen and things are just going to come to you, it's not going to happen and things are not going to come to you. A lot of the people that you see that are out here being proactive within their dreams and their goals, they were consistent and disciplined. There is no way around that. They had to show up on days that they didn't want to. They had to show up on days when they didn't even feel their best. They probably posted videos that they didn't even feel 100% confident in. And then they had to continue to post even when the views weren't really high. Like they weren't getting that many views. And I be noticing how people want to throw in the towel because they posted a video and it didn't really get any love, or they posted a video, it didn't really get that much engagement. And it's just like, you have to put in the work, y'all. There is no way around that. I'm not saying that you have to work yourself to death or work yourself in this hustle culture mode. Incorporate rest because that is important. That rest recharges you so that you can show up and continue to be disciplined and consistent. But if you think that things are just going to happen with you not putting in work and not experiencing, like at times, failure, or not experiencing at times awkwardness, or at times unsureness, or at times like second guessing if this is even what I should be doing, then you're not really ready and you don't really want this. Like you don't. And that's just the truth. Like that's the hard truth. Because if you did, then you're going to do whatever it takes to do it. And this is why you should achieve, or you should go after things that you're truly passionate about. Because when you're passionate about those things, okay, well, you're willing to do the little tedious things that you don't want to do. You're willing to do the things that are hard. You're willing to do the things that are challenging. You're willing to do whatever it takes because you have a real passion for it. And so sometimes I have to ask people, I'm like, Are you really passionate about it, or you just want to do it because you think that that's the thing to do, or you think that this is what you should be doing? Do you actually have a passion for it? Because when people have a passion for something, they're going to keep showing up. They're not going to show up, throw in the towel and be done. Like, they're going to keep showing up because they actually have a passion for it. Even if they're not getting any real love or recognition, like, they still have a passion for it. So keep that in mind as well. Because I've seen girls, Jackie Aina, Aaliyah J, she's another one. Like, those girls showed up consistently for decades. That stuff did not happen overnight. And I think TikTok really gives this impression that you can just blow up and become a star overnight. But I'm talking about, and I'm using these three women as an example because they didn't just get followers, they built a community. Okay? They didn't just get followers, they built a community that actually supports them. So anytime you see them launch any products or businesses that they have, they sell out. And the reason they sell out wasn't because they just had followers online. No, they had a community. So I'm not sure what you're wanting to do and what you're wanting to get into. I'm only going off of what this woman is saying. It's sounding like she wants to be a content creator, but I'm just being honest with you. All of this is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to manage different platforms. It's a lot of work to build community online. It is a lot of work. It's not going to happen quick. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a slow burner. So are you ready for that? And when my stuff was slow burning in the very beginning, I don't know how many jobs, I don't know how many hustles. Because even when I didn't go back to the workforce, I was doing hair, I was doing wig reviews. There were things that I was doing that I did not want to do. I didn't like doing hair. I did, especially braiding. I used to braid back in the day. My wrists would literally hurt. I would get cramps in my hands, and then I would go and edit videos. Do you know how hard that is to braid for literally 10 hours, 12 hours, and then go and edit a video for another 10 hours? Like, are you really sure that this is what you want to do? Because it is a lot of work. Now, of course, you don't got to braid hair. You could, I don't know, wait tables, or you could be a bartender or something like that in between. But when you're building and you're in the building stage, you're building your way to a place where things will be easy. But in the beginning, you may have to multitask. You may have to juggle a few different hustles, juggle a 9 to 5 job, maybe part-time or something like that, in order for you to get to that level to where you don't have to juggle all of these different things and manage all of these different things. Because, well, now you're not in the building stage. You've built something. And so now that you've built something, now you can move forward a little at ease compared to what was the phase that you were in the beginning. So I don't know what point or what space or phase you may be in when it comes to whatever you're trying to do, but give yourself that grace period to build. And when you're building, you may have to do things that you don't want to do. Like, I just have to be honest with you. You may have to do things that you seriously don't like, you don't have a passion for, you don't like to do, but maybe it's helping you get to what you want to do full time. Maybe it's supporting you financially until you can get to that place where you can do it full time. So things are not going to always just happen immediately. And again, I feel like this waiting period is for her to come up with a plan. And I had a plan. So when I was doing YouTube in the beginning, I had a full-time job and I was building my community up, and I was still going to work every day. And so at that point in the time where I got fired, I was at a good stable place to where I could take that risk. I just didn't believe in myself. Like, I was like, oh, and this is why I tell you all the time, having a 9 to 5 job, girl, ain't nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5 job. Like you get a check every month. Like, what are we talking about? It hits your account just like that. And then you can go boom, pay your bills. I just, like, y'all, I will never, if as long as I live, as long as my days are as long as they are and bills are due, I will never be too big of a, like, just, I'm just too big of a deal to go work at a 9 to 5 job. And bills are due? Gonna be too good for that. Bills are due. I'm gonna go work. I saw the situation with Tabitha Brown, and I was just like, why are people mad? She told you the truth. People's like, well, it's the way she said it, or it's because it's who said it. How do you not know Tabitha didn't have to go get a 9 to 5 job when she was on her entrepreneurship maybe a few years ago, or when she first started off. A lot of us entrepreneurs were working 9 to 5 jobs and we didn't want to, but that's what needed to be done. How else did you think we became entrepreneurs? How else do you think that we funded our entrepreneurship? We worked a 9 to 5 job. So I think a lot of people are really taking social media too literally, or you're listening to these gimmick life coaches that are telling you, oh, yeah, just quit your job, go full time self employed. But they're not telling you about how none of us entrepreneurs have healthcare insurance unless we go and we seek it out for ourselves. So that means you're going to have to pay a premium of 350. Like my health insurance out of pocket is 356. That's just healthcare. That's not eye care, that's not dental. That's healthcare. So I'm just like when people, and I've been telling y'all that for years. I'm like, a 9 to 5 job, you will never see me stick my nose up at a 9 to 5 job. That's why when I was looking at B Simone, I was like, girl, I just be careful who you listening to, because no one said that it was easy, but you can build yourself to a level where these things are managed and they're managed well. It's just, it may take you time to get there though. It may take years to get there. Are you prepared to dedicate yourself to that? Because that's what I'm getting at. There's no waiting. There's no waiting. And based off of what this woman is saying, there's no sitting around. There's a lot of you getting things in motion and being consistent in that. There's no sitting around and waiting. You are waiting on a miracle. And I'm not saying miracles don't happen, but still, even when it comes to miracles, you have to still meet that miracle halfway. You just do. You have to meet it halfway. So I think this is great. And I think that I was on her page. I feel like this woman is talented. I love her voiceovers. I love her storytelling. And that's one thing that she said that she wanted to do, but she's going to have to remain consistent in it. I'm not sure how long. TikTok has speed. I will say that TikTok has kind of sped up like how you can grow a community a little bit, but sometimes TikTok is kind of weird. Like it doesn't always transfer. Like you can't transfer your TikTok community to Instagram, and you can't transfer your TikTok community to YouTube. You can try, but sometimes they always, like when you have different platforms, they don't always transfer. So I think she has an amazing idea when it comes to her content creating. I think she has the potential for sure. But again, like it's the only difference between her and other successful people is truly just consistency. That's it. That's it. That's it. So if you feel like, oh, I could be this and I could be that, da, 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 the only thing that's really truly holding you back is consistency. Because you can be that, but you have to be dedicated and consistent.
6, 7, 6. Today might be day 7. I can't even count. But I'm just putting this out there. Hello, my name is Phil Michelle. I am a creative. I was a life coach. Still do that here and there. I'm into wellness. I am a model. I am a actor one day. I'm just here to just place my bid and say, hey guys, hi friends. I exist. I am an introvert, extrovert. I like to hide, but I like to be outside. And right now in my life, I think I'm inside and hiding or doing things solo. So if you are a friend and you have not seen me, haven't heard me, whatever, it has nothing to do with you and all about me. Because I just want to be like this, hidden, but at the same be like, hey, okay, and that's about it. That's it. Hello again.
Okay, and so this one girl, let me pull her up too, because she did a good breakdown. And it definitely seems like she's going through a transition, because I think she also posted this.
POV. Just finished crying. Having a breakdown in the but we back. POV. Just finished crying.
And I just need y'all to understand that breakdowns, very normal. Very normal. If you're not breaking down, are you really alive? Because honestly, this is a lie. So she moved from LA back to New York. So she did that big move recently, I think at the end of last year.
I had to do it. LA is a lot of things, but one thing I've learned was that it wasn't for me. While I thank LA for giving me so much time to sit with myself and to be alone, it also allowed me to see more of what I needed and wanted for myself. I wanted to be surrounded by family and friends. I wanted to have more Haitian food than I could possibly imagine. I wanted to walk. God knows I miss walking, and not for 15 minutes, but an hour of just getting lost in the city streets. I want to feel more community. I need to see more Black people, more culture, more dancing, more women who look like me that were just being loved upon naturally. And I don't say that as an attack, but as a lived experience. I needed more of that New York rough around every edge, but oh so soft in my heart. I needed a soft place to land, a home, so that I could not only rebirth, but grow into me as a model, as a content creator, but most importantly, a storyteller. I say all that to say it's so good to be back home.
I see the potential. I see it. I see the potential. I just feel like consistency is the only thing that's going to keep her from this dream that she has. That's the only thing. Okay, let me see. Was it this one?
No, I probably should be sleep, child, but I saw this creator's video.
I have a question for all you people that are in between spaces. You're in the waiting room for the next chapter in your life. If you've been there, stay here. I have questions. Now, I'm trying to be the person, have faith like the size of a mustard seed, but also on the side of God helps those who help themselves. How does this work exactly? I am trying not to drown.
I'll tag them in this video, and I just wanted to help you, okay? Now I'm gonna hold your hand while I help you. It may sound a little harsh, but it's true. And if you do it, you'll see some changes. The middle place is not a waiting place. It's a building place. Okay? Gotta get that clear first. Because a lot of people think that they're waiting. And because they think they're waiting, they're waiting. You see what I did there? So the middle place, that in between, is not a waiting place.
It's a transition. Okay? It's a transition. That means when you transition, there's motion. If you're feeling stuck and stagnant, it's because you're not moving. And that could mean physically, but that could also mean like you're not being proactive in a plan. So you have to have a plan. Like there is no waiting period. There's stillness. Don't get me wrong. There is periods of stillness. That is important. But periods of stillness comes when you need clarity, when you need to get clear on things. But that doesn't last that long. So are you in a period of stillness? Or are you in a period of transition? Because those are two different spaces. I feel like this woman, based off of just some of the things that she's put out here on social media, I don't think she's in a period of stillness. She's in a period of transition. And so in this transition, there is motion. So what is the plan that you have in motion? And if you don't have a plan in motion, let's create a plan so we can get the plan in motion.
That's not where you wait. That's where you build. That's where you detox. That's where you get clear. Okay? It's a very functional, actional,
Yeah.
resting, which is also an action, right? Because if you're not comfortable with resting, that's something you're going to have to put into practice, which will feel like a job.
Also, I want to say this, if you don't know which one you're in, like, are you in a place of stillness or are you in a place of transition? And honestly, sometimes you may have to like get clear on that. So fasting can help, remove distractions, remove anything that may be like, I don't know, like maybe confusing you. Listening to people online, getting too many readings. I've seen that. Listening to too many different people, like family and friends. You need to get clear on something, then you have to remove all distractions and you have to stop listening to everyone outside of yourself. And then you may even have to go into like a solitude for a little bit to get clear on what it is. And I had to do that this year. I had to go into solitude a little bit this year. I did a 45-day juice cleanse. And then also when I did that 45-day juice cleanse, I also spent like just a lot of time to myself because I was trying to get clear on directions. And then once I got clear on directions, because I've called it like a spiritual fog, I couldn't see like what next decision or choice, like where do I need to go head in, like I was so confused. And then when I disconnected from social media, I did a social media cleanse. So I tried the 45-day cleanse, that didn't work. The juice cleanse, that didn't work. So when I detoxed from social media, that's when things got really clear for me. I think I was off social media. How long was I off social media, y'all? I can't remember. I was off social media. The longest I've ever been off social media was this year, in over a decade. So I was off social media for a while, and then I came back and I had so much clarity. That's how I was able to create this channel name change. That's how I was able to create my intro. Like, so much came to me. I felt like the creative block that I had was completely removed and things were just flowing in fast. And it was because I had eliminated all distractions and I kind of went into solitude and just kept to myself a little bit. I was hanging out with friends here and there very lightly, but I wasn't really discussing anything that was really going on with me. I kind of kept it to myself. So I got the clarity from detoxing from social media. And I guess that's what it was for me that I needed to detox away from, because it was just causing, like, I don't know, indecisiveness. It was causing a lot of indecisiveness because I would get on social media. I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I can do that. I can see myself doing that. And so I was just getting so caught up in all of these ideas that I never put anything in motion. So I had to detox from social media. I had to detox from listening to all of these outsiders. And then that's when things got very clear for me. So if you're trying to figure out, well, which direction should I go in? Let's get rid of those distractions. Let's take a step back from allowing other people to influence us for now. Even if you just look to people for inspiration through influence, take a step back from that influence and really check in with self and then come back and step forward. I'm telling you, things will become very clear to you if you're confused on if this is stillness or if this is a transition phase for me.
So, in between is a building place. Building, detoxing, clarity on what's next. Cool, you got that. 2, you're overthinking. You're overthinking and you're too emotionally connected to all of the different parts that's making this in between miserable for you. I'm waiting on a job. Should I go back? I don't really want to go back. It's hard to go back. I don't want to work there. The people are rude.
And she's right, y'all, because I had a friend where back in 2012, we were very close, and she was talking about doing YouTube. And I was like, and me and her had that in common. I was like, oh, I want to do YouTube. And she was saying how she wanted to do YouTube. But she literally came up with all of these different excuses to just not go for it. And the only difference between me and her was I just threw myself in it. Like, I didn't wait. I didn't feel like, oh, I have to get the perfect camera. I had to have the perfect laptop. I had to have this and I had to have that. I just threw myself in it. I had a janky laptop. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't have the best camera. Like, I had the old school video recorders that you hold like this. That's what I used to record on. And so she felt like she had to get a Canon camera. She had to get a Mac laptop. She had to get the best editing software. And here I was just working with what I got. And I just threw myself in it and I just figured it out. And I eventually started to grow in the craft or in this creative phase that I was in. And so then it just started to take off. So if you're literally just waiting for things to just be perfect, then you're going to be waiting forever, because once you get that thing that you think is just going to make the big difference, it's not. Then you're going to look for something else that you feel like you need, and then you're going to look for something else that you feel like you need, and then you're going to look for something else, and the whole time you keep looking for something else and something else and something else because you're overthinking, you haven't done anything at all. Like, there's no motion. There's nothing but stagnancy. You have not started on this project. You have not started this creative thing or idea that you have. You haven't done anything because you think things have to look a certain way or have to be done a certain way. And to be honest, you just have to kind of just throw yourself in it and then just adapt and just just go with it. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like, just figure it out along the way. Like, don't think you have to have it all figured out up front. You're never going to start.
I'm trying to pay my bills. I can't pay my bills. People want me to go out. I can't go out. You can only afford energetically to have one objective, and it's got to be to move forward, which comes to my next point. You have not set your face forward. And you know when you set your face forward, when you're no longer talking about the past and it's no longer even an option. Now you might say, no, the past is not an option. I left, I'm not going back, but you're still talking about it.
And that's why, like, and this is so important because today is 999. Okay. It's the 999 portal. When you step out of that cycle, you close it. Okay. So you never think that, oh, I could always go back. If you think that you could go back, then you will. Okay. Because you have to be in this mindset that any forward movement is where I'm supposed to be. Because a part of you thinks that you should still be back there. And you don't want to energetically resonate with what's behind you. You only want to energetically resonate with what's in front of you. And so you have to be careful with that, because sometimes you can manifest with your mind and maybe even your words to go backwards when you should be going forward. And I had to talk to my younger brother about this because, again, it was fear that was creeping in. And so he was like, oh, maybe I should just go back. No, 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 no. Let's not go back, because you were removed from that cycle for a reason. Let's close the door. Let's release that. So if you need to release the idea of ever going back, or feeling like what's back there, it still resonates with me. Because if you feel that way, then that means then you haven't outgrown that space, which means that you're telling yourself that you're not ready for what's ahead. And if you're looking to grow and to elevate, then you always have to be ready for what's ahead, what could be next for you, instead of focusing on what's behind you. Be careful with that.
Your words are going to send you in the direction of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about the past, even in complaining, guess where you're headed? So if it's no longer an option for you to go back, it should no longer be in your vocabulary. Move on.
And the one thing that I want to add too was, when I moved to Houston, moving back home was not an option. I don't care how bad things got here in Houston, I was never going to move back to Kansas City. Like, it was never a choice. It was never an option. I don't care if I had to go get a job. I was never going to go back to Kansas City. Like, if that's one thing I knew, it was never to go back home. Like, honestly, I can go back to visit, but never. Like, I don't even like staying too long when I'm at home. I don't like, even though the last few times I've gone home, I've had to stay longer than I would like, but I never would get comfortable with just being home, because that was never an option. I've outgrown home. I've outgrown it. So going back, or still looking at that as like that safety net, I don't even look at it like that anymore. Part of the reason I have this mindset is because of past phases that I was in, where I would always rely on the safety net out of fear again. So this time I'm at a level where I don't even rely on that safety net. Going back home is just not an option for me. So keep that in mind too, because if you feel like it is, then you may find yourself back there. And if you know you don't want to go back, then don't put that in your mind that, oh, I'll just go back. I wouldn't even, I wouldn't do that. Don't play with yourself like that. Mm-mm.
This is the time where you need to be crying, praying, and getting angry.
Oh, yeah.
You still have tolerance for not getting what you want or what you need.
And another thing, because I tell people this all the time, especially the girls that come to me for mentorship for weight loss. And as a girl that lost weight and has kept it off, and you come to me about weight loss, and the first thing that you say is, I don't have the motivation, then you're not sick of where you are physically. You're not sick of where you are mentally, emotionally. You're not sick of where you are when it comes to your physical body. There's nothing I can do. Nothing. And this is me just being honest. You have to reach a level, because one thing that motivated me when it came to my weight loss journey, I was sick and tired of being overweight. Period. That was it. I was sick and tired of being overweight. That was it for me. That was enough for me. That kept me motivated. I was sick and tired of being overweight. My back hurt. I hated how my ankles would swell, my feet would swell, my wrists would swell. I hated how I would feel when I would wake up in the morning. I didn't feel good. Oh my God. I used to hate how much I used to sweat. Just, I remember taking 3 showers a day just because I would sweat just walking around. And I didn't want to live my life like that anymore. I got sick and tired of the same thing. So sometimes you're not in motion with this thing that you want to do because you're not tired and you're not sick of the same thing. And I just got sick of the same thing. Even recently, with me getting back on track, I got sick of the same thing. It just got tired. I'm like, I need to do something different. I need to switch some things up. So I decided to lock in September the 1st. I'm trying workout classes, Pilates studios. And then the crazy thing is, I didn't even have the best experience this morning when I went to my Pilates class. I didn't. Because, first of all, I literally said, okay, if I start doing workout classes, I'm going to take up space, right? So I took up space, and the instructor, she comes over to me and she was like, I don't want you recording in my class. And I'm like, and then I normally don't record myself because I'm like, I don't want to put myself out there. So here I am trying to put myself out there and record. And then it's one thing for you to have your rules. I respect authority. Like I have no problem with respecting authority and rules. It was the way she asked, y'all. And I was like, damn. I'm like, okay. So now I'm being proactive. Like, okay, I'm not going to allow that to discourage me from recording. I'm not going to allow that to discourage me from going to Pilates class. I'm just going to take it as, you know what? That didn't have nothing to do with me. Maybe she didn't have a good morning. I don't know. Maybe it's just because honestly, the last instructor, she didn't have no issue with me recording. Maybe she just wasn't feeling it. Maybe she didn't want to be on camera. I literally had to take what she threw at me, which was just nasty energy. It wasn't that she asked, it was the energy that she projected. And I had to put it back on her. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have a great morning. I'm just going to continue to have a great morning. So it's like one of those situations where it's like, again, it wasn't that she asked, it was how she asked. Like, you know, when someone is being snooty and snappy, but then like also somewhat intimidated. Like I felt like she was intimidated by me. Like if she came over and asked me that I would give her like some type of attitude or something like that. And I'm just like, it's not that serious. Just tell me you don't want me to record. I will definitely put my phone away. But it was just the way she did it. And then after she told me, then she acted scared of me. I was just like, oh my God, this is not serious. I was like, this is not happening to me. But this is what I feared going into predominantly non-Black spaces and dealing with like these little microaggression experiences. This is what I didn't want to deal with. And I'm like, I'm dealing with it. And you know what? I'm going to continue to deal with it as long as I have to, because I'm going to continue to show up and take up space if I'm recording and if I'm not recording. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of those situations. So, and yes, I'm willing to deal with this new space and figure out this new space of Pilates and studio classes and instructors and things like that, than to go back to what was comfortable, because I'm sick of that. Like I'm sick of working out by myself. I like working out next to a neighbor. I like seeing how she's struggling with the same movement that I'm struggling with. You know, it just motivates me. It keeps me going. So I'm not going to run back to what's comfortable just because I had one bad experience. I'm just going to just take it as a challenging experience. And then I'm just going to move on. Like, I'm not going to make it a big deal. So again, like sometimes you're not on your shit because you're not tired. You're not sick of it. Okay. When I wanted to move out of my home state, I wanted to get the I wanted to get the hell out of there. All right. Meaning I didn't want to kick it. I didn't want to hang out with nobody. It wasn't fun. It's the same shit every weekend. I'm sick of that. So I was so sick that I was just like, okay, like, no, like we're going to put this plan in motion and we're going to move out of state. And that's what I did because I got tired of the same old, same old. If you are in this space where you're like, oh, I don't have the motivation, you're not sick and tired. That's as simple as it gets. And I don't know, maybe you need to go make yourself sick and tired. Maybe I don't know, you haven't binged ate enough. I don't know. Like I don't know what's going to make you sick and tired. I don't. But I'm telling you, when you reach that point of being sick and tired, And honestly, what does it come down to? You have a vision for yourself, you have a vision for your life, and it's eating at you. And then you look at your life and you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see. And it's really that simple. And then you're going to wake up one day and you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm tired of this. And then there's your motivation. That's the only way you're gonna find it. You're not gonna find it nowhere else. You could try to use other people as motivation, but that tends to be temporary. So you need to just focus on getting sick and tired of you waking up, seeing yourself, seeing your life, seeing that it hasn't changed, and then maybe you will finally do something about it. Because that's as real as it gets. That's not me being mean. This is me being real. This is me being real. Someone that has been consistent. This is me being real. You just have to get to that point where you're fed up with yourself. Like, honestly, that's really it. That's it. You could go listen to, I don't know how many motivational speeches. You could go listen to a woman that lost 100 pounds and she gives you her testimony and everything like that. But at the end of the day, if you are not tired and fed up, it's gonna roll off your back and you're gonna go back to doing what you was doing before. It's just real. It's just real life, y'all. It's real life. So get sick and tired. I'm telling you, that changes your life.
And anger has a place. Like, I don't know if you've ever experienced crying about where you are, feeling depressed, feeling low. I have. But then this anger comes over me where it's like, I feel like I didn't pray the same prayer too many times. I feel like I didn't say the same thing too many times. I feel like I've been waiting too long. I feel like I can't hear myself say the same thing. So I'm finna get up and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know I'm about to give me a different outcome because I can't hear the same thing no more. I can't hear myself keep saying, I can't. And so the anger gets me to move. The anger needs to be putting you into action. It don't matter what you do, you can do something. The next thing is,
Anger can do a lot. I just feel like sometimes we allow anger to control us and we don't control it. Because you could take anger. Anger is a big motivator. I mean, it'll get your ass up so quick. I mean, think about it. You was sitting on the couch, you was kiki and having a good time. Then somebody came by, pissed you off, said something slick. You got right on up off that couch, didn't you? Anger is a great motivator. Okay, maybe you're not mad enough. I don't know. Anger can piss you off so bad. Some I don't know. A man cheated on you. Hell, you lost 50 pounds. I mean, somebody betrayed you, did some weird shit. All right, so you went to the gym. You got a fat ass. You started building booty muscle. I like maybe you get angry and then you don't do nothing with it. I tell people all the time, like if somebody piss you off, girl, use that energy, transmute it, and use it to your benefit. Do something. Don't just waste it. So maybe you're not fed up, and maybe you're not angry enough. Maybe you should get angry. That's what you should do.
you're not doing wholeheartedly what you said you were going to do. If you need a reminder, let me play the clip.
Yes, I'm a content creator. Yes, I need to get on my Zoom. Yes, I will be quitting my job. Yes, I want to focus on content creation. Yes, I want to be modeling, editing, hosting, creating, building, doing all the things.
Did you hear that? You remember that video? That's what you're supposed to be doing. When you say, what am I supposed to be doing is in between that. What you
So I'm gonna ask you, ladies, are you giving it your all? No, but really, like, are you really giving it your all? Because that's one thing about it. It's like we could sit up here, we could complain and we could be like, oh God, I'm waiting, I'm in this in-between phase. But are you really giving it your all though? Because like let me explain. When I give something my all, I eat and sleep it. From the time I wake up to the time my head hit that pillow at night. And sometimes my head don't hit the pillow at night. Sometimes I hear the birds chirping in the morning and then I hit the pillow. So are you really giving it your all though? Because that to me is going to be the biggest deal breaker. Because you can half-ass do stuff, right? You can half-ass do stuff all the time, but you may not get the return that you were hoping for with the effort that you gave. And so if you give it all that you got, understand you're going to get a lot in return. If you give half of what you got, then you're going to get half of what you gave. So if you give it all, then you're going to get a lot back. And that's one thing that when I lost my job and I was crying and I was, I don't know what I'm going to do. It hit me that I never gave myself the opportunity to go at this and give it my all. I never did. I was always just doing half of this because I was working a 9 to 5 job. I was working full time. So it clicked, like it really clicked, and it came over me after I sobbed, cried, and then it hit. You know what? You never did YouTube and gave it your all. You only did it like half-assed because you only had it as a hobby. You only did it as a hobby. You didn't do it as, oh, I got to pay these bills. You didn't do it as, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. You only gave it like half of what you got because, well, that's all that you could give because you were working a 9 to 5 job. Why not give it your all and see what the outcome could be? I haven't been back to work in almost 8 years. So listen, you could do it. And I'm going to tell you this too. With me making that decision, I still struggled 4 years after that. But I was self-employed, but I still struggled 4 years after that. I would say by the 4th year, that's when the struggle stopped completely. 2020 was when the struggle stopped completely. But even 2017, all the way up 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, struggle still. But I was doing it and I gave it my all. So I built it and then boom, it became easy after that. But it was a lot of work and it was a lot of uncertainty that I had to work through. And a lot of people didn't understand. A lot of people didn't agree. A lot of people thought I was being just stupid, to be honest. So it's like one of those things, it's like you have to give it your all, though. And if you feel like you're not giving it your all or you're unable to give your all, then you need to figure out if this is something that you really want to do. Okay. And listen, when you're working a 9 to 5 job, right? Doing YouTube or content creating part time, that's still giving your all considering where you are. So even before, like when it came to me working my 9 to 5 job and being a content creator on the side, I was still giving my all for what I could do in that space. But when I lost my job, it clicked, okay, let me give it my all without the 9 to 5 job to see if maybe I could maybe just do part-time or maybe just not get a job at all. And so I gave it my all, but then it also clicked. I'm talented. Like I started thinking like I'm talented. I'm a jack of all trades. I could do anything. Hell, I was out here waxing girls' eyebrows and mustaches in college because I was hustling on the college campus because I had no money. So I was like, you know what? Like maybe I could like do hair on the side or I could do this on the side. So I started brainstorming and coming up with these ideas. And so I had this plan in place and I just made it work. And I was consistent with this plan for 4 years straight. And on the 5th year, that's when it all paid off. So are you giving it your all? And do you really want this? Because for you to go at something for 4 years straight and not want to quit and not give up, like that takes true dedication. And then have to hear like all the negative things that people have to say, the naysayers and all of that stuff. It's like, are you willing to push past all of that and still remain dedicated? Or are you going to let those things get to you? So are you going to allow yourself to get intimidated when you don't know something or you have to learn something new or you have to do something different? Like, are you going to allow that to intimidate you? Like, these are things that you have to consider as well.
You said you were going to do. But if you keep entertaining other things other than what you said, like the past or the past job, you are taking energy that you could be using to move forward to think backwards when you also know you don't want what's back there. You see what I'm saying? You have not made a resolve yet, okay? And a resolve will look like, it doesn't matter if I feel like I'm drowning, I'm not drowning. That's a decision. And I know some people would say like, well, I can't make that decision. I don't have a job. Like, this is not me. Like, I'm waiting on, I need help externalizing your power. When you make a resolve, I don't know what happens in the soil, in the air, in the world, in the universe. But it says, okay, amen. We agree. We will help you. But a lot of times when we're in the in between or stuck in the in between, it is a direct reflection of the state of the mind, not necessarily an unanswered prayer. It's an indicator that you're in between ideas as well. You're not just in the in between in life waiting on something. You're also in the in between of what you really want to do and what you think you got to do. So make that resolve and refuse to drown. You talked about faith. Faith is not faith without movement. I don't care what you say. Faith isn't even words, right? Words help you articulate what you're believing. But faith, you'll know a person believes by what they're doing. That's how I know. Like, doubt isn't even an indication that you don't have faith. Doubt is not even an indication that you don't believe. You can have doubt and faith at the same time. It's actually evidence of faith, right? To not know, to not be sure, but to still move as if you are, right? So when you say, what should I be doing? You should be doing something. You should be moving. You should be taking action. You should be backing the words that you said in that video. Next, you're not working hard enough. I know that's hard to hear. I know.
And a lot of people don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing people tell me I'm not working hard enough, especially when you pride yourself on being a hard worker. So I like to reword it. Are you giving it your all? Because I feel like that's that's to me is easier to hear. Are you giving it your all? You know, like, are you really giving it your all? Or you feel like you're giving it your all, but you could be like, I know I'm better than what I'm doing or what I'm giving. Like, I know I can do more or give more. So a lot of people don't like hearing that, but that, like, one thing about this journey, that if there is a dream that you want, you have to be real with yourself. Because being real with yourself makes you practical about your dream and how to go about living in it. But if you can't be real with yourself, then and yes, being real sometimes means it may sting your ego, but you have to get past that. So, are you really working hard? And listen, I don't want you to think that when we talk about this, I'm talking about hustle culture that leads to burnout and survival. I feel like these are things that you manage in a structure, and you manage it through organization, you manage it with time management. You're not running yourself thin and running yourself into the ground. So, that is not what I'm promoting with this video. I'm saying get a plan in place and stay proactive, and don't think that this waiting period is not supposed to be a transitional period. It's supposed to be a transitional period for you. That means you have to get things going and get things in motion. And one thing I also tell people too is that the privilege that no one tends to focus on, everyone has access to this privilege. When you are born, you always have access to this privilege. Doesn't matter where you come from, how much money you have, your background. You always have the privilege to change. And the number one opportunity that you can create for yourself is always change. No one ever wants to focus on change, but change is the biggest opportunity that you can take advantage of. So it all comes down to you making certain choices and decisions for yourself. And then when you change, you are positioning yourself for more opportunities. You created an opportunity through change, and then you position yourself to receive opportunities for yourself. So privilege, the number one privilege that I see everyone have that no one tends to put a lot of focus on or fixation on, is change, the opportunity to change.
It's hard to hear, especially when you're feeling sad or if you feel depressed. It can feel like it's hard to do simple things, but it is still true. You're not working hard enough. Not hard enough for the things that you.
Now, another thing too is if you are depressed, okay, I'm gonna say what I need to say on a large platform. You need to seek out counseling or get some type of clinical help if you feel like it's truly necessary. One thing that I also noticed about being in a depressive state, that I'm gonna tell you to get some high John oil, because that's going to break that depressive energetic energy that you got around you. High John oil, I think you could get it off Etsy, maybe Amazon. High John oil is really good for breakthroughs and depressive states. Okay, it's you. I forget what it. I think it's like sun oil. I think like High John oil is made with sun oil or something like that, or it's made through the sun or something like that. So it brings like this vibrant, energetic energy to you that you may need, and maybe you just need to rub it on you and wear it on a daily basis or something like that. But High John oil can really break through that dark, depressive energy. Also, another thing that works for me when it comes to depressive energy is you need to command your energy. Like you need to stand in your energy and you need to demand your energy back. So that means like you'll go in front of the mirror and you'll talk to yourself and you'll remove this depressive energy off of you by speaking to yourself, to remove this darkness off of you. Like go in the mirror and say, I remove this darkness off of me. I call back my energy. I demand that I stand in my own energy and I remove this darkness off of me. Sometimes you need to speak to yourself like that, because sometimes we get into that depressive energy and we just sit in it and we just feel it and we just stay. And then one thing I had to learn as someone that chronically dealt with depression on and off a lot, it was seasonal at times and things like that, was I allowed things to get too dark. And I knew that it was things were getting dark. So I knew things were getting dark and I didn't stop it. I didn't do any preventative measures or anything like that. I just allowed it to just take over. And one thing I had to learn about depression is when things start to get dark, you need to be proactive. Don't wait for things to get so dark that it's a bigger struggle for you to pull yourself out of. So as soon as you notice, okay, things are getting a little dark, then that's when I need to start taking control over preventing this from happening and taking preventative measures. And it could be clinical help, it could be counseling, it could be a life coach, it could be surrounding yourself around friends and family, it could be listening to music, meditation. It could be maybe even going to like community therapy, maybe hearing other people and their issues and problems and things like that makes you feel less alone about what you may be going through. And if you can't afford one-on-one therapy, definitely check out group therapy if you feel comfortable with that. That tends to be cheaper, but just make sure that when you feel that darkness start to come over you, that you start to be proactive right away. Don't just wait until it gets too dark, because that's when it gets harder to come out of that.
Did you wanted to do? You're still in a rescue me energy, and you need to be in a I'm making it happen, I'm going to make it happen energy. The truth is, you probably do need to go out. I know you mentioned that friends want to go out, but you don't have it. Well, tell your friends you want to go out, but you need to do things that are free or affordable or whatever. Because you really do need to go out. And one of the reasons why you need to go out is because you need to be seen. It's not just like about the money. It's not just about feeling like it. It's about the fact that God is giving you something that a lot of people don't have. And the moment someone sees you, they can see it. They can see your beauty, they can see your body, and they can see fashion on you. You understand? God is giving you that. That's in your wheelhouse. So when you're praying, what am I going to do? I'm submitting applications. Yeah, you're just a paper applicant. You're just an interviewed face. But when you leave the house and you go out and you put that stuff on, that's a head turning moment. You don't know who you could run into. You need to go out. You need to be refueled. You need to be inspired. You need some belly laughs. You don't know who or what you could run into that can trigger an idea or that can let you know what your next step is. Which leads me to my next point. You're not maximizing what God is giving you. You have.
And listen, we about to get into Miss Olandria because we are seeing this woman maximize what God has given her. Okay. So let's continue though.
Maximize that, okay? And if that means going out even when you feel sad, if that means going out and you step into the bathroom, to cry a couple tears because you're scared, you don't know how this is going to work out, then there's just got to be a pact you're going to make with yourself, because your money maker is on you. You understand? Unfortunately, your feelings are within that money maker, and those feelings can put you on a couch or put you in that dress I saw you in on your page. People need to see you in that dress. And my last two things is you need a
And if y'all want to see what dress she had on, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna make you go to her page so that you can see it. I'm not gonna play the video so she can get some type of promotion from this video.
phone light. Okay? You need a phone light. You need a phone light. I went through your page. I like your videos. I like some of the things that you're talking about, but the lighting, boo. Get your phone light. If you feel like you cannot afford a phone light right now, let me know and I will get it for you. And lastly, what am I supposed to do in this in-between? You are supposed to do what you said you was going to do. I hope this helps.
Okay, so I wanted to tie this in as well. Let me see. Did I miss anything? No. So I wanted to show y'all this. Because the girls don't understand, like, why do I just love Olandria so much? Y'all have to listen to some of her solo interviews because she is always dropping gems, like seriously. And to see where she is today is even better. Just makes this even better. So let me go ahead and play this here.
Like, what is your relationship with money? Like, growing up to now, how do you view money? What's your relationship with it? And when it comes to earnings and just in general managing money, especially in like love.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had it turned up.
Of which, you know, now you're in, like, what's your take and stance on it? How do you view money? What's your relationship with it? And when it comes to earnings and just in general managing money, especially in like love, which, you know, now you're in, like, what's your take and stance on it?
Before the show, something I've always prayed for, something I always wanted was financial freedom. Obviously, being raised by a single mother of 3, my mom, she made a way, don't get me wrong, but she was living check to check a lot, you know, but she still, bills was paid, spoiled as hell. I don't know how she did it, but she did. And me just coming out of college, just some bills and things like that, moving out on my own, I found myself living check to check at times, you know, because even when you get a career, when you first start out, we have no experience. They're going to lowball you with pay.
Of course,
you don't come out swinging, you know. Even prior to the show, I don't ever say like I was broke, but I would always say like, you know what, I'm in between blessings. That I always say that. I never
Great
call myself
perspective.
broke. I never call myself broke. I'm just in between blessings right now, and which is why I was in Shein for most of the show. People talk like, oh, she's in cheap clothes. I'm like, well, I couldn't afford anything else.
Off,
you know?
everyone. Excuse
But
my
now I
language,
can. I
but
can
like,
buy me some I'm in that position to
it's
buy
just
it.
the judgmental bullshit.
I
Like,
know.
come on,
That's,
like,
well, that's me, but I couldn't afford nice things. But now I can. Like that's why I put myself out there to be able to do things like this. But
So remember, a lot of people were giving her a hard time because she came on the show with what she could afford. And remember when I said that sometimes we think that we have to have this and we have to have that and we have to have all of these things in order for us to chase our dreams and things like that. But really, that just holds us back from really chasing our dreams. Now, what if she was like those people who felt like her wearing Shein was just so cheap? Like, why would you wear Shein on Love Island, a reality TV show? You knew you was going to be on TV. And that probably, if those people probably would have held themselves back because that's all they could afford. So because that's all they could afford and they felt like that wasn't good enough, then they weren't going to go and take the opportunity to be on Love Island. But she did anyway.
I would find myself living just to pay bills. Oh, to pay bills. I'm like, you know what? I have no kids. I have no pets. This should not be my life.
Sure.
You know, so I just prayed to God about it. That's why I took a step of faith and just went on the show. And I'm so happy that I did because I could not imagine me not doing that. Like, this is my reality now.
Yeah.
Imagine if I just shut them down again for the 3rd time.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I would still be in a miserable state. So I'm happy that I did. I was always very good when it came to paying bills. All of my bills on auto pay. Always made sure and prioritized that. And then whatever was left over, I would kind of spoil myself with it because I was in like a sales role. So anytime I have like I get my bonus check for a quarter, literally, it would be so big.
Yeah.
I was like the top of the top when it came to sales. I would just splurge on myself. Like, what? I'm living my
Take care of yourself.
now. Like, I am so happy that I can actually live in that reality for a minute now. No longer have to say I'm in between blessings anymore. I'm blessed.
I love that perspective. It's all about how you reframe it and then based on.
She said, I no longer have to say that I'm in between blessings. So one thing that Olandria that really stuck out to me in this interview was before the show, when she was going on the show and everything like that, she didn't really have it like that. Like, this was a big risk for her. Like, this was a huge risk. She was putting her job on the line, but her job in it was okay and was super, super supportive. Like, her manager was supportive. The woman that worked in HR at her job was supportive. Everyone was supportive of her. So she just went for it. She took this huge leap of faith. And even in that season of her not having it, she wouldn't say that she didn't have it. She would just say, I'm in between blessings. So even with her having that mindset of I'm in between blessings, just like this woman was saying that I'm in this in between, Olandria was proactive. She was in motion when it came to her dreams. She was positioning herself for her blessings. She was waiting on her big moment through actions. She was not waiting by doing nothing at all. So that means like she still had to show up. She still had to put her best foot forward. And now I understand the moment that she had on the show with her mother. As soon as her mother got there and they sat down, the first thing out of Olandria's mouth was, am I giving it? How am I doing? How do I, like, am I looking good? Like, and it's because Olandria had a plan when she got there was to brand herself. And Olandria, if you notice, she is the only one out of the, I would say, Love Island show that has really branded herself so well to where she has a really good team. And you can tell her team is consistent. She has been on, I don't know how many different huge brands and networks and websites where they're saying that she's like the best dressed. And it's crazy how she went from the girl that's just wearing like cheap clothing to now she's wearing all of this designer brand high-end clothing and everything like that. So again, like, you never know what taking that leap of faith can do, but you also have to understand that even when you're in the in-between stage, that you still have to be proactive. So let's continue.
On the reframe, you become a believer of it, and then it becomes your reality, and there's less stress and there's more positive momentum. All those things, they're so real. You talked about a little bit packing for the show. So as you're packing for the show, how many suitcases did you pack? And if you had to think, like, of course we talk money on this podcast, how much do you think you did have to spend on clothing to prepare for Love Island?
Oh, okay. So first of all, I brought 4 suitcases.
4 of them. Wow.
4.
Holy
This is
shit.
why I was able to give me so many cool looks.
Wow.
Styles, you know, I had like 30 bikinis. I had like 30 outfits. Like, I didn't really have to repeat any outfit at all.
Wow.
Literally. So yeah.
The benefits of packing 4.
Oh man.
Right.
Literally. Oh, I paid out the ass for them.
Yeah.
One of my suitcases was like 100 pounds. Another was like 80.
Oh,
shoot.
shoot. Yeah. Because you got to pay all the overweight fee.
Literally.
Yeah.
I had a connecting flight, so I had to fly from Houston to LA and then LA to Fiji. So I had to pay like twice.
Oh,
you know?
God.
It was terrible.
Wait, so how much did it cost to just get the luggage out there?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. I was like, no way. Like, you're cleaning me out. I don't have money in my account right now.
I'm dead.
Literally a few days later, that's when I got my bonus and like my actual checks out. Okay, but like going out there, I'm just like, this does not look good.
Yeah,
you know?
that's funny because it's just in the weight of it.
Yes.
And then like I assume you spent a few $1,000 in bathing
A few
suits and
thousand
stuff.
bucks. Yeah.
It's just in the weight of it.
Okay, so nothing like too crazy.
Yeah, when it came to, I mainly got my clothes from Shein and Fashion Nova, so like a few $1,000s.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
But
great.
for all those items, I think it was pretty worth it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would say
I
so.
have a Vogue shot out with Shein clothes. That is
It's
insane.
unbelievable. I mean, exactly. You
Yeah.
got it all. When you think about like what's next though, like in your career and earnings, do you have like a goal? Are you like, I want to make X amount of dollars, or do you have a goal as it relates to like financial goals moving forward now?
That's an interesting question. I have not yet made a goal yet.
Yeah.
I just hopefully I see a M in my account. I never imagined me saying $1 million.
Yeah.
It might be low from someone else, but like when you think where I come from, it's like that is a lot. Hello.
For sure.
So I don't know. To think about that.
Okay, something to think about.
As financial goal for myself.
With the whole conversation of like love and money, we saw a little bit on the show, but conversations about this stuff, like talking to your it's one of the hardest things to do. There's just a recent study out there that 50% of couples married and cohabitating, they don't even talk finances, married. So what I would ask you is like in these discussions and conversations you're having as you're getting more intimate, what's your stance on like financial transparency and having these conversations, and how do you step into them into your current connection?
Oh, that's a tough one. I haven't yet to think that for my goodness.
Yeah.
I would think like as we get further and further in our connection, get more serious, maybe we should have those discussions.
Yeah.
But as of now, they haven't came up yet.
Yeah.
Do you
So
think
I
maybe I
think
need to?
to me, it's like I think you have to have it when you're comfortable,
Yeah, for
right? And
sure.
I think
So check out this interview. This was a really, really good interview. I don't know why no one else is like posting this part, because especially in this time of social media and like people feeling like they have to have name brand this and name brand that, or they have to have this fancy thing in order to be successful and things like that. It's like that's just an excuse, and it's holding you back from really putting yourself out here, and you never know what you can do with what you have and how far that can take you. Like, just utilize what you have and how far that can take you. And it's very clear that that took Olandria very far. So that's just another thing that I wanted to point out. And then over the weekend, I ended up going to this Black on the Block event. Let me see if I can find it. I'm like, do I have it? Okay. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Come with me to this event called Black on the. Let me go past that. Okay, so it's a really cool event. I'm showing this is because I want you to see that there are people out here still proactively chasing their dreams. Like, if you don't want to be a content creator, you don't have to be a content creator. But I went to this event and it was a lot of Black entrepreneurs that are out here still chasing their dreams and making their dreams come true. So I stopped at this vendor and brand, and oh my God, she created these earrings out of recycled paper. These earrings are created out of recycled paper. And I thought that was so cool. And they were light. They weren't heavy, even though they're, kind of on the bigger side, because they're made out of recycled paper. They're very light. So I went to this event and I was so inspired because there was a lot of like Black creators and business owners and things like that. They were into so many different things too. Like, not everyone was into the same thing. Of course, I made my way to like the accessory stands because I'm just obsessed with accessories. Like, come on now. So they had so much stuff, y'all. And so here was another table that I went to. If you wanted to see what brands are in this video, all the tags are on my Instagram if you want to check it out. But they had so much cool stuff. And in this candle business, Soul Scent, I love their candles. It was so cute. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, those are the candles that you don't burn. Those are the candles you kind of just put up in your home. And then also this rug brand, they make custom rugs, but then they also host events where you can have a party do it, and you can have a party or a group of people where you make your own rugs or mats for your home. So I had to stop here. It was pretty cool. And then they had some live performances and things like that. And then this other girl, she had another stand where she was selling chains and jewelries and things like that. It was made mainly out of gold. And then they had an African vendor as well for African clothing. And I really liked that dress. It was really cute. And then I was kind of disappointed with the artists. There was only one painter there. And when I came to this event, I honestly was on the hunt to buy Black paintings. And this was the only stand that they had. I don't know. I just expected for them, I don't know. I expected for there to be like multiple artists there, but we just had one artist. And she had some cool paintings too. And then these group of women too, they own their own intimate line where they have panties, and they are making them for Black women. Hold on.
Hi, my name is Casey Nails. I am the founder of 42 Intimates, and we make nude or flesh tone underwear for Black and brown women. So as Black women, we come in a diverse range of.
So that is her panty line, which I thought was cool. Then there was a children's book. So I met an author there as well, a children's author. And so she was making children's books written and illustrated as well. I tagged her on my Instagram. And of course, I had to buy my niece a book. I got her the book called Just Kicking It for when she starts soccer. And it's a story about how she's nervous. The girl is nervous about her first soccer game. So I ended up buying that one for her.
And I stopped at this.
And let me see. So I just wanted to inspire y'all with this, that even if it's not content creating, maybe one of these businesses may resonate with you. This was a Manifest with Purpose. I think that's the name of the brand. And oh my God, y'all, I was at this table for a good, I don't know, 10 minutes. First of all, I got this Productive AF notepad that you see down here at the bottom. I got that because the reason why I loved it was because on one side it said for me, and then on the other side it said for work. And I was like, see, that's the perfect balance that I need. So I ended up buying that notepad. I already had a calendar book. I always buy my calendar books at the beginning of the year, and I already have so many journals, so I ended up not getting that. But I will be looking forward to buying from them at the beginning of next year. So we will see. And then I ended up getting that name tag. It said, what would Beyonce do? Because sometimes you just need to, like, if you've ever gone to a Beyonce concert and you like, Beyonce, you do a lot. Like, how do you do it all? I'm not sure. So I had to get that too as a reminder. And then Just Move. I know y'all have seen this brand on TikTok. This brand stays on my For You page. And I ended up trying out the banana pudding protein shake. Y'all, it was so good. I thought people were just hyping it up. I gotta be so real with you. I thought people were hyping it up. I'm like, y'all hyping this up. Like, it's not all that. And so here I am, like, just browsing. I'm like, wait a minute, that's that brand that I be seeing on TikTok. So I went over there and it said free samples on the table. I was like, ooh, let me go ahead and try that banana pudding because everybody keeps talking about it. And I tried it. It was so good. I was this close to buying the big bag, but then I was like, wait, let me not settle on the banana pudding. Let me just get the sampler. So I ended up getting the sampler where you could get all of the different flavors. And then the lady was telling me that with the protein powders, like the different flavors and things like that, you can make pancakes, you can make blueberry muffins with them because they had a blueberry muffin flavor. You can make banana nut bread and stuff like that. And it's protein powder, but you don't have to always just mix it up in a drink. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So that's another reason why I ended up going with the sampler. So let me see. And then I also got the mushroom coffee. The mushroom coffee, I had to get this mushroom coffee because I went to Whole Foods and I tried this brand in Whole Foods and it was disgusting. It was disgusting. I thought mushroom coffee, it was supposed to taste like a little bit, like it's supposed to give you that coffee feel, but it gave dirt. It wasn't good. So she made me some coffee, some mushroom coffee, and it actually tasted like coffee. It gave you that roast type of taste, which made it kind of feel more like or taste like coffee. So I ended up buying that too. So all I'm doing with this live is to inspire you that if you have something that you want to do, let's get to it. And if you feel like that, oh, I don't know what to do, then maybe you need to get clear on it first. And then if you feel like I'm in this waiting season, I'm in this waiting phase, and I'm just kind of like waiting for things to happen, it's time for us to get some things in motion. And then also to those that have been at this for a while, you've been at it for a while, are you really giving it all that you got? And then also to those that have not gotten started at all, are you fed up with your life? Like, honestly, are you fed up with how things are? Are you comfortable with this? Is this enough for you, or do you truly want more? Because when you truly want more for yourself, that's the biggest motivation you could ever have in your life. Is just wanting more. That's it. Just wanting more. So that's pretty much all that I have regarding this video. I hope this video inspires you. I hope it uplifts you. I hope it gets you angry maybe a little bit to where you go out and you really chase your dreams and you get things that you really want out of life. And I also gave this advice in my Discord because there was a girl, she just turned 28, and she asked me, is there any advice that you could give me? And the biggest advice that I wish someone would have gave me when I was in my 20s was that don't wait for life to happen. You have to make it happen. So if there's a birthday celebration that you want to have for your birthday, plan it. If there is a career change that you want to make happen, do it. If there is something that you just want to do, travel, or you want to go back to school, plan it. Stop waiting around and just waiting for things to happen. It's never going to happen. I used to be that type of girl when I was younger. I really thought like, oh, life is just going to happen and things are going to start happening for me. And they never did. So if you know that you want to do something for your birthday and your birthday isn't until 6 months or next year, start planning it now. If you know you want to make a career change, then go for it. Don't just sit on it like, well, I kind of want to make a career change, but I don't know if I want to do it. Stop waiting for life to happen. Okay. And if you're seeing people that you feel are like on the younger side and they're getting all of these things done, it's because they're just being proactive. The only difference between you and them is just they're being proactive. That's it. And maybe you have that mindset of, oh, I have to wait for things to happen. They're not going to happen. You have to make them happen. So if there's anything, any desires, any goals, anything that you have in mind that you just want to do or achieve, you have to make it happen. So that's all that I have regarding this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in and joining me on your lunch break. Please give the video a thumbs up. And also, I forgot to add this too, that if you have any other content that you want me to react to, make sure you put it in Discord under the content tab. And then I also have an email, but I don't have it up here. I don't know what I did with it. I'll make sure to pin it after this video so that you can send me an email and you can send me different content that you either want me to talk about or you want me to react to. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope to see you in my next one.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.
Like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.